Alright everybody, welcome back for another video of Virtual Warfare, a text-based roleplay fighting tutorial series. In today's video, I'm going to talk about what T1 fighting is and how you can successfully T1 fight. I don't want to make this video too long because a lot of videos of mine are long, and I'm just trying to make this video fast and easy so people can know what T1 fighting is and get right into it. So today's video is how to T1 fight, and I will send a link in the description below about T1 fighting. But right now we're just going to look at an overall view of what T1 fighting is. So I'm just going to read. It says T1 style roleplay is a roleplay fighting style that bases its gameplay off of taking turns, using 200 to 250 words minimum in a correctable format to complete each one. Meaning correctable format meaning using 200 to 250 words, but making it in a way where it's legible and understandable and people can know what you're doing and correct some of the errors that we all make in fighting sometimes. So that's correctable. Each site uses T1 in a different way and form, but the prior is an overall principle of what T1 fighting is. You know, a lot of people have different words, different word minimums, different ways of writing. Like, you know, grammar takes point off. You know, some people don't care about grammar, but as long as it's understandable. So now that we know what T fighting is in the overall view, let's look at some of the key principles that T1 fighting has. Some of the key principles are patience, which is very important, having patience, because patience is something that's needed. Creativity, to know how to, you know, create things and be creative. And a correctable sentence structure, so people can know what you're doing and not be all over the place. And some key elements about advanced combat. Just like there are laws in basic combat, the 5 commands, there are other laws, commands used for advanced combat. So let's start off with patience to see why patience is needed. Excuse me. Why patience is needed in T1 fighting. Writing takes time. You know, writing out 200 to 250 words takes time. Unless you're a fast typer, unlike me, you know, I type pretty slow. I take my time to make sure everything is together and make sure it flows right. And that's the way I write. Some people write fast, and however you get down. Waiting for the opponent to reply. Some sites give 24 hours, some give 5 hours, some give no time at all. You know, proofreading. You know, make sure your things are correct, make sure everything flow right, make sure it's understandable, and make sure that, you know, people can understand what you're talking about. And just extra time for rest and thinking, you know, in case you want to add more things, or in case you want to just relax and get your mind loosed and think about more things, you know. So that's it. That's about patience. So the next key principle is creativity, and creativity is used to have a particular writing style. You know, you don't want to write like everybody else. And, you know, if you read certain books, every author has a certain type of writing style that makes them distinctive from other authors. You know, write it to a particular audience. You know, if you want to write to an adult audience, teen audience, a fantasy type audience, sci-fi, or whatever case may be. Creating your own powers, you know, and not using powers that everybody else uses, like shooting fireballs out your hands. You know, you can be creative, and, you know, here's an example right here. You can have a distinctive style while having a cup of water in your hand and throwing it at the opponent, and you can use your ice powers to manipulate the water and turn it to ice shards, and use the ice shards to attack your opponent. You know, that's something creative, something that a lot of people don't do. And, you know, just be creative and have fun when you roleplay fight. Okay, so the next one is a correctable sentence structure, and it pretty much speaks for itself. Having a nice structured sentence where it's readable or legible, so people can understand what you're doing. If you make a few small mistakes, which, you know, a lot of us do, it can be correctable, and, you know, people can make more sense out of it. Punctuations is key. You don't want to put too many punctuations, and you don't want to not have any punctuations, and putting the punctuation in the right marks, right spot, makes all the difference. And you can see right here, you know, example, let's eat kids, you know, saying let's eat kids, you know, let's eat. Whereas it says let's eat kids, like let's eat the kids, you know. So punctuation is very critical when it comes down to roleplay fighting, because it can throw somebody off. And just having conjunctions and transitional words and phrases to help you base your roleplay off of time and where things are happening and why things are happening, and just connect things, you know, so a lot of things can make sense, if I'm making any sense. So let's just move on. The next one is key elements. You know, the key elements are things of like how to enter and how to attack, as you've seen in the diagram earlier. How to attack, like who you are. You know, if you want to state your identity, your rank, whatever. If when you're coming to the arena, you can state where you came from or who you used to be, or you can state where you're heading. You know, what destination you're headed to, the arena, what future location, whatever the case may be. There's other things you can add too. If you don't, because some websites have you create a profile, whereas all your appearances and all your abilities are in your profile, so you don't really have to state them again when you're writing. But if you don't have the ability to write a profile before you fight, here's some of the things that you will want to keep in mind to add when you're entering an arena. You know, what your skills are, you know, if you're a mage, an assassin, or kung fu master, your weapons, you know, and your abilities, you know, super speed, flight, super strength, or whatever the case may be. You know, those are some things that you may add, because if they are not stated, if you ever seen my previous videos about auto and god mode and stuff like that, if you have things that's not stated, you can't use them. You know, you can't just bring things out of nowhere automatically and say that you are using these things. So be sure that you add these things in your profile or before you fight, because during a fight you can't add anything else. So let's just move on to there's more things you can add about what you're thinking about. You know, you can say what your character is thinking about. This can help interruptions, so you can say that your character is thinking about stepping forward faster, and it can help you interrupt your opponent's move. Or you can just have things that your character is planning to do later on. You know, if things mess up, or like a plan B or a plan C, if you want to have to. So it's like building hypotheticals if you want to do that. So that's pretty much the key elements of how to enter. Now we will look at key elements on how to attack. The same principles of basic commands, which are approach, the unit, the direction, the target, and the result. But now in advanced combat, you will be stating the distance of your approach. So instead of saying that you just approach, you will be stating how far away you are from the person before you approach. Also, you will state where you stop at, so it can have a better picture of the range between the two characters. So everything is not just an assumption and just all over the place. Now we have a stable ground of how far the characters are away from each other, and stating the exertion of your punches. You know, before you stated the force, or you know, you stated the result. But now for advanced combat, you will need to state the effort, or how much energy you're using to execute this result, or to execute this move. You know, if you see my advanced combat lesson part 2, it talks about exertion and stuff like that. So if you want to look at that, you can see further more what I'm talking about. And I think that's pretty much the end of the video. There's no other slides to say that's the end of the video, but that's pretty much the end of the video. Sorry if this video is too long. Sorry if this video is not the best video, but it is what it is. These videos will be done more professionally in the future, but right now I'm just getting these videos out so people can know what I'm doing. If you want to help support me making videos to make roleplay learning fast, easy, and fun, you know, I'm all ears. I'm open arms for any support you want to give. Please like and subscribe to my videos and my channel to help promote this this mission, you should say, or this movement or whatever. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see everybody next time. Deuces.